Hello.
Episode 25.
This feels so good. It feels,
on the couch.
We said we just want to do 25 episodes and then we're done.
So this is the final episode.
No, it's not.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for being here. We just wanted to do 25 episodes in our life.
Yeah.
And then we were going to
That was it. It's on the bucket list crossed off.
Start a podcast, end a podcast. Check.
Just kidding. The one thing we wanted to do when we were creating this podcast is we wanted to create like our own form. Yeah. And like we wanted it to feel like we were hanging out. We didn't want to be like, hello everyone and welcome to episode
of Favorite Cheese.
We have Jeff Probst in the in the waiting room.
If you think we can get Jeff Probst, I would lose my god. Also,
and musical guest BTS.
Could you imagine? They're like, wow, they actually were really big fans, and they just wanted to like join them on their couch.
They're like sitting down. They're like, we thought this was about cheese. Yeah, screw you guys. And we're like,
I will say this. I just want to see Jeff Probst in like normal everyday wear.
I bet he's like 5'6".
Because he's always in his like, oh yeah, of course. I don't mind that. We love a short king. But I'm a short king. So why wouldn't I?
Jeff Probst is like wearing the toe shoes, like the shoes with the little toe inserts taken out.
But I'm going to tell you, because I've now watched way too many episodes. Jeff Probst wears the exact same shirt or style of shirt, possibly a variation of color, every single episode. Same hat, same thing.
Cabela's shirt.
I mean, really.
Like some cargo shorts.
Yep.
A hat.
Has a little hook for his carabiner, but he doesn't use it. And it's just a very
For those of you who don't know, Jeff Probst is the host of Survivor.
For those of you who don't know who Jeff Probst is.
I mean, it's been on enough seasons. Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy or sad that I know, but I do know.
I think one of my biggest delusions in my entire life is like seeing someone and being like, oh, I know I'd be friends with that. Like, I think me and Jeff Probst would get along really well.
Maybe.
Just like I really think me and Guy Fieri would be friends.
Yeah.
Like, not like, oh, we get along well. I like think I'd text him. Like, I'd be like, hey, made a bomb-ass chili.
He'd be like, sweet. Nice.
He'd be so nice.
I feel like he's so busy. Yeah, he thumbs it up. I feel like he's so busy.
He's really busy.
He only has a few real friends, and it's like his family.
I feel like we could be really close.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, maybe we vacation together.
I don't even know if he does vacation. He's a workaholic. He's always working.
What if we found that out? What if we got really close to Guy Fieri, and then his wife was like, oh, so you're who's taking up his time.
And we're like, oh.
God, I'm sorry, Guy Fieri's wife.
That'd be very weird. That'd be weird.
Anyways, that's my delusion. I have a lot of delusions in the sense of
I don't have any delusion to hang or meet Guy Fieri. I think it'd be all right. I'd be down. It'd be cool. But like, I don't have any. I have a feeling he'd be like a very smart businessman and all of the character is gone. And he's like, well, you know, like it wasn't working out. So I bleached my tips and I did this and this and this and it blew up. But I'm actually a family man. I hang out at home. Like
I love that.
When I was growing up, one of my good friends, he went to school with Bill Engvall's daughter in high school.
Sure.
Bill Engvall, one of the rednecks of comedy.
Would he call himself the
redneck comedy tour, right? Or was
he was
that
on
their
the tour with like Jeff Foxworthy and
Larry
like,
the Cable Guy,
yeah.
and somehow
who else? The guy that like drank a ton.
Yeah, Ron White. Who's like. He's the only one that's transcended. He's like considered just a comedian. He just happens to be Southern.
Foxworthy's considered a comedian.
No, yeah, but he's considered that style of comedy. Like there's a lot of people that kind of they have their niche. Like Ron White's kind of the one that just crossed over. They're like, he's just drinking.
He's just an alcoholic. That's
well,
fine.
not anymore. He actually stopped.
Like
he stopped. He stopped, and it sucks because he owns a tequila brand, and he's like,
that's hard.
he's like, you know, everyone has
drink it if you want.
No, he had a funny. He's like, everyone has a certain amount of booze that they're allowed to drink in their lifetime, and I hit it. Yeah. I hit it. That's what he said. But what I was gonna say is like Larry the Cable Guy is not that in real life. Like that is a character.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, it's a complete character. If you actually Google Larry the Cable Guy old stand-up, you'll see him at like the Ice House and he's in a suit with a tie and he's like doing Jay Leno kind of like political humor and he's like, what do we do? Bill Clinton and you're just like, and it didn't work.
And then he's like, just kidding.
No, so he got one of those jobs like a lot of our comedian friends do where they call in on the radio. So a lot of these shows are kind of like staged where they hire actors to call in and do these fake, fights or whatever.
Sure.
So I forget what it was, but they had a problem with their cable.
Okay.
So they called.
Oh wow, who do we
Larry,
have?
the cable guy.
Oh no.
He did the bit. It was a hit.
Yeah.
So he was like, the suit thing's not working, but maybe if I show up in the hat and I give it a go, and people and just latch. Yeah, and they latched on, and he obviously nailed that character, and a lot of people love him. But it's hilarious because he can't go like. He's at home and he's like, well, I was reading Tolstoy, and and then all of a sudden they're like, is that Larry the cable guy? He's like, get her done.
No, it's exactly what the Philistines said.
Yeah.
Said, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
No.
And then he gets in the car and he's like,
yellow Gatorade's my favorite.
yeah. I don't even like water. Yeah, and you're like, oh, but it's like for me.
You don't.
I think that's what Guy Fieri would be. Like, I feel like you'd get there, and he's like,
I'd get there, and he'd be like, "I'd love to hand you a Chianti, maybe like a 92."
No, I think he'd still be like Chianti, but no, like I think the voice is there still. I think he's like a sommelier, and he's like,
I think we're gonna come in. He's gonna have his little bleached hair, deep side parted,
yeah,
and he's gonna like be sitting in like a beautiful like silk like pajama
he's very
set.
classy.
He's got a smoking robe, and he's like opening a humidor, and he's like Cuban, and he hands it to you.
His house is like mid-century modern. Like it's not gaudy like you think. Yeah.
He's got a dancer in a cage. We're like, what?
Oh. And he's like, yeah.
He's like, Flavor Town.
This is what I really
welcome.
Am. Yeah. I mean, no.
I'm excited about it.
I don't know though. It would be hard. It would be
Guy
hard to hang
Fieri,
out with him.
If you're listening to this.
And
we should hang out.
Yeah, and I think the Gordon Ramsay thing is also a character. A lot of these are characters. I mean,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be friends with Gordon Ramsay, but I do. I've said this before. I think I'd be friends with Shia LaBeouf. I don't know. There's a lot of weird ones. That
his
I think
stories, he's a great storyteller. There's that one story when he got arrested while watching a Broadway show. Yes. And he tells it very funny. But when you hear that, and that's just one story, like, that guy is rowdy. I'm not saying...
I don't know if I'm that rowdy anymore.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had friends that I loved hanging out with, but every once in a while, they'd get a little too rowdy.
That's what I'm saying.
And you're just looking around. I would not want to wrangle Shia LaBeouf. Like, that guy could fight me.
Genevieve from college.
Yeah.
But I don't want to like, tell her not to jump off, like she can't jump off the roof anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Those friends where you're just like, hey, you're not going to make that jump.
Hey, Todd, get off the train tracks, bud.
100, like, even though it looks like it's only 5 feet, it's actually probably more like 12 feet.
We don't need to keep doing backflips. Yeah.
Look, I'm going to dive right in. I can say my fondue.
Please dive right in.
I have tiny little fondues. I just want to apologize if I'm fast talking. I had a donut.
Yeah.
And as you know, donuts are in my top 5 favorite. Probably, honestly, if we're going like desserts, donuts are number 1. I know they're not qualified as dessert. Like, it is, for me, donut over ice cream, over cake, over pie. I would donut all day, every day. That is the thing that I would be searching for in the apocalypse.
Donut's not even a dessert. Like, they couldn't find their categories, so they like we're coming to breakfast. You like pancakes?
Hey, do you like a dough full of fatty dough and some sugar icing?
Yeah, it was just like some guys that came over and they're like, well, they're doing bagels. I could put sugar on it.
It is ballsy to say the least, but I love a donut more than anything.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things where when people go, like, what would you join a cult for? And I'm like, God, honestly, free donuts. Yeah. Like, if they were like, and also if they were good.
Free candy?
Like, No, free ice cream,
donuts gets
free
you in
pie,
the door.
Yeah. But like free donuts, I'm like, what kind of donuts?
I think they've been using this technique for a long time because I've gone to a lot of like meetings or weird like estate sales, and they're like, we got donuts and open house.
Oh, okay, I'll stay.
Well, I wasn't gonna buy the house, but this is a great crumble.
I'm telling you, it is a problem.
A bear claw.
It is a problem.
All right. You only get one donut for the rest of your life.
That's not
What
easy.
is the
That's
donut?
not
What's
fun at all. Look, I'm going to go, and people are going to judge this a lot, but it's because it's my one donut for the rest of my life. I could go like the maple bar route, which is fucking fantastic. I could go the apple fritter route, which trust me, I love an apple fritter.
Yeah.
I love a bear claw.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to go like an old-fashioned glazed donut, but like a good like warm, softy
fresh
baby
out
boy.
Of the oil.
Yeah. Sometimes they're called sour cream donuts.
Yeah.
Like, that's because I guess they're made with sour cream, but that's the one.
Wow.
And I I'd punch a stranger for one. Wow. I'd be.
Would you actually though?
No,
should I start that joke? Punch a stranger, and it's like, here it is.
I would, I'd cry. I'd cry the whole time, and they'd be like, "It's okay, punch me," and I'd be like, "No, I can't." And,
it looks like a good donut, though.
Okay, to dive into I will say on the note of a stranger, because I'm gonna dive into my fondue.
Oh yeah.
Delman and I had a tiny little, minor little run-in today. As we were driving, we're driving by a park. And there was this doodle.
A busy street.
A busy LA street, like one of the busiest LA streets. And there was this little golden doodle running in the middle of traffic. People are trying to stop it. And the dog is also, not for nothing, but it's a golden doodle.
Not well behaved.
No Tino shade.
It's like, this is fun, man. These cars are whizzing by.
Having the time of his life.
Yeah.
Also, golden doodles.
That car hit me.
I know people own them, but they are truly the dumb blonde of the breed. Yeah. They're just like yeah, baby, yeah, and they're having the time of their life. Yeah. Again, he got clipped, he got donked, and he got
high fived.
Yeah. Okay, that hit, and that
these
hurt.
are real cars.
And then he kept running. So you immediately were like, "Get out, go help that lady that's trying to grab him." I thought it was her dog, so we go and we are running after this dog that is now just playing tag with us. And we're like, cool. Yeah. So running after this dog back and forth. And the lady, I'm like, is he yours? She's like, no. Is he yours? I was like, no. Yeah. So then we're just running, and we run a while in the park, and he just keeps running away from us. And we're just trying to we're asking people to grab the dog because he's off leash, obviously, and just going wild and feral. And finally he after all this chasing, after all this wrangling of me and this girl who are just trying to get this dog, he goes back to this family, and the lady that is there is like, oh wow, hey buddy, there you are. And we're both like, are you kidding me? We're just exhausted.
My God, rascal, you got away.
She was just like, wow, where have you been? And it's in traffic, almost killing people is where he's been. Yeah. And he's just like,
whatever.
Yeah, I was around.
Yeah, yeah.
But so it's really far in. Again, we've been running this whole time, and me and this girl are looking at her, and we're just like, you've got to be kidding me. And so the girl walks up, and she's like, was this your dog? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, he got clipped by a car. Yeah. He was in the middle of traffic. Yeah. Put him on a leash. Are you kidding me? And she was like, you did that? And she's like, okay. And she was super weird and rude to her, which is one issue.
Which is always the weirdest.
It's the worst.
Yeah, the weirdest response.
You're welcome. Yeah. It's such a weird thing. But then I came up and I didn't hear what the other girl said. And I was on the other side of it. And I was like, is he yours? Because I didn't know if she was just petting him. Yeah. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, he was in the middle of traffic. What are you doing? I was like, you really should keep him on a leash because he was in the middle of traffic. Yeah. And she goes, yeah, I got the story. Thanks. And I paused and I was like, what? And then this is where the stranger comes in. That girl who is an absolute stranger to me, I could kiss her on the mouth now, because she literally looks at her and she goes, I know you're embarrassed, but that's a really weird way of saying thank you to two people that made sure your dog didn't die today. And then she pointed at me and she's like, she jumped out in the middle of traffic to make sure your dog didn't get hit by a car. Yeah. And then the lady's like, and she didn't know what to say. And she was like, so you're welcome. Your dog didn't die today. And then the lady just was looking at her, and the husband was looking at the whole family's looking at us we don't know what to do. And then because I felt ballsy from this girl, was like, can I watch you put him on a leash? And then he was like, and the wife was like, and then the girl next to me, the stranger, was like, she looked at me oh my God. Yes. And then the lady put him on a leash in shame, and we're like, okay. And then we kept walking away, and she just goes, yay, he won't die. Yeah. And I was like, I immediately was so hi, good. I'm Lee. I love you. Yeah. I don't know who you are in confrontation, but I'm assuming you're a high-paid lawyer.
Yeah. Did you represent Johnny, Dad?
I literally was like, who are you? I love you. It was such a weird, and also moments like that are very interesting to me, because I was again, I would have walked away and been like, that was shitty and that lady was mean, and I would have moved on. Yeah. But it was such a weird, I literally looked at her and I was like, who? It was that's who
fun.
Are you? Also, it's a movie moment where it's you had the right thing to say.
Yeah.
You said
it's fun when you
said it really well. Like none of it. Honestly,
it's fun when it works out.
What she said, it didn't sound mean. It wasn't like witchy or bitchy. No, it was truly just like a
zing.
Yo. Like you're very welcome that your dog isn't a puddle on the
and
Beverly Boulevard.
like I would be like just all of it was because it's like for me, I can't tell you how many times something has gone on like that where it's like I either didn't stand up for myself or like I didn't say the right thing, and then you're in the car and then you're like, you can't handle the truth. No,
or you're in the shower and you're like, I would say get a life, but you don't have one.
I'd say get a life, but I can't even think. But I have so many that I fester on.
Replays.
It's so good when you just like nail it.
I mean,
like
it was
that.
her, and I literally was like, marry me. Like just fully like again. And then she went to go like eat McDonald's with her boyfriend in the park, and I was like, I don't know who you are.
That's the new McDonald's commercial.
Honestly.
Have it your way. And be a badass.
Like,
hell yeah.
I'm like, love her.
Save her dog.
God, I love her. I do.
That's great.
So that was my fondue, is just having that little beautiful moment. Because again, I would have festered, I would have been so sad. But having that beautiful little moment of that stranger that I immediately afterwards was like, I was like, you were so brave.
Yeah, you're so cool. You're so cool.
I was like, that was brave. Really what you said. Everything.
Do you do that a lot? Like, do you just like go up to strangers and just tell them?
Do you have a course that you teach, or are you a life coach? I
gotta get out of here.
You're like 10% curmudgeon though, a little bit, where it's just like,
no, I just don't like when conversations are fake. Like if someone came up to me and they were like, hey, here's my life, I'd be like, brah, let's talk about this. Like you need to like what how do we get her back? Like like I'm down, I'm
how
like,
do we let's talk
let's
about
make a plan.
Why was she so special?
Come on, what do you drink? Let's go get some beers. Like let's talk this over. We gotta work this out.
Good for
even
you.
if it's a stranger. But if it's someone like, hey man, like and you could see their heads on a swivel and they're not really connecting, I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we just talking?
I get it. Is this just small talk? You're an anti-small talk person, though.
There's no reason.
I do know that.
I think we should go deep every time.
I love.
I don't want to go small.
Tiny little connections. I love tiny little like boopy doos.
I want to see someone, hug them, look them in the eyes, and be like, "All right, so this is what I'm going through." That's what I want to do.
You can't do that with strangers. There has to be a line of
the line is no talking.
No, you can't immediately go up to someone and hug them.
Floodgates open or close.
No, it can't happen like that.
That's what it is.
I'm so sorry. It's not how it works.
It's happened. I've cried for strangers just because they're like.
Okay, all right. Well, like even we were at a Norton Simon Museum the other day, which is a really fun museum in Pasadena. It's a museum. It's not a fun museum. It's a normal museum.
Yeah, it's nice. It has nice pieces.
It has nice pieces. It has quintessential
some Picasso, some Van Goghs, some Pissarros, some
Manets,
the Thinker.
some Monets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's got like the classic pieces in it. And there was one weird like tiny small little portrait, and some cutie old man came up to me and he was like, "This is my favorite painting."
Yeah. He was definitely making a move.
You think he was making a move?
Not in like an actual like I'm gonna take this girl home, but it was like he was
in his 80s.
It was like the holiday or something. Like
yeah, but not
not. It's not a sexual move. It's like a companionship. Like you're a pretty girl looking at art.
Honestly,
I've always looked at art. And I'm an old man. My wife used to look just like you.
He was so cute. I would have absolutely been like,
that's why I didn't
go
butt
get coffee. I know. I'm glad you didn't.
No, because I was just like, this guy's hilarious.
He was adorable.
That's my favorite piece. He was like the Duncans from Duncan's Toy Chest. Like the two turtle doves. Like
he's like, this is my favorite piece in the entire place.
Yeah. He's like, in the whole entire museum.
And I was like, why? I asked him. Yeah, because it's not
that. Well, that's why in my head, the inquisitive, I'm like, this motherfucker has said this at every piece to every pretty girl. But, sir, that's a chair. Like,
Sir, that's actually just a humidifier.
Yeah,
my favorite.
Yeah.
No, and I said, why? And he was like, it's just the like connection between them, and you could tell. And then I was like, well, I read a lot about the piece, and I was like, that's what they're saying is that what the artist is painting was a intimate moment that wasn't normal. Female busts weren't really normally like exposed at that time.
There weren't tits out.
It was just like low cut. It was like a headshot. He's like, I think she was a prostitute.
Yeah. He kept saying that. I do love when the older people like They're so real about it. Like, we're always trying to be optimistic. We're like, maybe
they were lovers. Maybe she was
like a young writer and an independent.
Like, she was a prostitute.
Yeah, 100%. She was a whore.
Lady of the night.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God. The painters, they love whores.
Yeah, painters loved whores.
You're like,
let's talk about Toulouse-Lautrec, who only got laid by prostitutes.
Yeah, you're like, even Degas is painting the girls. But
the girls.
We could argue that all women are whores. You're like, sir? No, he was nice. He was
lovely. We shared a moment. But I love that.
I wanted to know who he was there with, though. Like, is he just doing his rounds? Like, is someone like, Dad, get back over here?
I didn't see him there with anyone.
There was a really funny moment in that in that museum, because I go into the bathroom and there's like a dad, one of the, a new dad, but he's killing it.
A fresh dad?
No, not too fresh. Like, the kid's probably like potty. He's still being like, he's allowed to go by himself, but the dad has to be there still. Whatever age that is.
4?
I don't know. The kid spoke well, though.
Yeah,
but it was funny. So, like, I'm in there and people keep coming. It's a public bathroom, right? Yeah. And the kid's just like, Dad, I wish I could have some privacy. I just want some privacy. And the dad's like,
poor buddy.
He's like, that's not how a public restaurant works, bud. And he's like, and like, we're all in there, but we don't know. We're like trying to help the kid out, so we don't want to say anything.
I get it.
And he's just like, I just want everyone to go. I need my privacy. And like, we're trying not to laugh. And he's like, I wish there was a billion bathrooms in this place so we can all have our own.
Yeah. And I get it.
Yeah,
and I get it, man.
Because I was laughing, but not like a few hours later, I was in a bathroom stall in a bar going, I just wish I could have some privacy. I'm like, you know what, kid? It doesn't go away. You get old and you're like, oh my God. Like, even now, it's like, when our friends are like, hey, want to stay in an Airbnb with us? I'm like, not unless I got my own bathroom and bedroom and kitchen and backyard.
My own very far away from everyone else's bathroom.
But walk, no. Because you got to have your own bathroom, I think.
Man,
I don't know how I did it as a kid.
I'm just saying, you know what you want. Yeah. And that's one of the things that you want is your own private bathroom.
And my own private laugher.
Oh, no one's going to get you that.
Someone that just like, I look at him and they go...
I'm telling you, it'll burn out so fast. You'll know that they're doing it. Because
then I'm
going
to start tricking them.
No.
And I'm going to be like, that was a fake laugh, Leonard.
Get out of here, Leonard. Come back tomorrow. 3 p.m. Yes, that'll work just fine.
But like, don't watch anything else so you think I'm really funny.
Leonard's just like exhausted. We're like, we have to talk about Leonard. He's broken.
He's going to be a butler. It's going to be Colin. I'm going to be like, hey, Colin, I got that butler job for you.
I can't wait for him to
You got to still laugh at all my jokes, though, Colin. He did laugh at him, even if he didn't get them. Because some of them weren't jokes, but he was laughing. Isn't that the worst?
That's the worst.
When you say something, but they're like, and you're like, oh.
Colin, I'm serious. I'm in a lot of pain.
No, Colin, that's...
It's really dark,
my wife.
Actually.
We got married. Like.
Do you have a camembert?
Sometimes I'll be like doing something, right? I'm like working.
Sure.
Or you wake up, you have some coffee, and then finally like you just start working.
Finally.
And you're, or whatever. You're cranking on your writing, you're cranking on your coding, you're cranking on your...
Crank,
any of these things.
Yes.
And then out of nowhere, you just get like hungry, but it's like one of those hungers where you're just
Hold on. If this is going to be your camembert, because
I hate being hungry.
This is a genuine thing in our relationship where Delman will get like so genuinely upset that he is hungry.
Listen,
you like food.
I love eating.
You're a foodie
I
little bit.
love eating. I love enjoying food.
Sure.
I love being like, oh, we're going to have these foods and we're going to eat them and we're going to enjoy them.
To have these foods.
I love the act of dining with friends. I love barbecuing. I love cooking. I love baking.
You don't need to, we get it. You like.
But like, I hate when my body's like, hey,
it's me again, and I'm starving.
No, but because it comes out of nowhere. Like, I don't know how normal people do it, and I've been actually getting better at it because I'll just wake up and eat like the minute I wake up.
I said, do that. I said,
but
wake
I
up
still
and
get
just
hungry
eat.
at a certain point because like I get lost in like if you don't schedule it, if you're like, oh, I'm just working,
you put it off.
It goes 0 to 10.
End. That's what I'm saying. Is like
and then my stomach will gurgle. My like I can't even like focus on work. It's like emergency, like to the point where I'm like, can I even cook you something? And my body's like, no, it has to be prepared. And
I have literally said this though, because I think you're a very special breed. I'm saying it special.
Okay. And you're a very mean breed. I'm just saying it mean.
I was trying to say special because I think weird is a mean thing to say.
But special is what they say for other things.
You're a very certain breed.
Okay.
I don't know how to say
You're very specific.
Hey, you're a breed.
Okay.
No, you're a very I don't know what kind of person that you will put it off to the very.
No, I don't. I don't go days.
No, but it'll be.
I was watching I was watching that show Alone the other day, and they're like, he hasn't eaten in 9 days, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, 9 days.
You'd be out.
I could make it record, and this is like if I really went for it, like 12 hours. Like if I really as hard as I could.
And you'd also I mean this very kindly. You would be genuinely impossible.
What if I was on that show and I get so hangry day 9, like, get out of here, you camera people. Oh, you think you're funny? You're going to bring me some rice? How was last night? Sleeping in it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm going to make it. You're going to film me? They're like, okay, sir. Is this what you want? Is this the show you want? You want me to get hungry?
It's been 6 hours.
Yeah. You just got here.
You just got here.
Yeah.
You do.
And then I'd eat just like some poisonous berries and be like, I need to go. Yeah.
No, I'm fine. Thanks.
No, but that is like one of my biggest pet peeves because I don't get that any other. I've never been just like too thirsty. Like I've never gotten there. Like I got that handled.
Insane. You've never been too. I've been like
no, but my body just I drink a lot of drinks all the time, so it's like my body's used to that. But I'll just get hungry out of nowhere to the point where I'm like, I don't know.
The fact that you're like furious with the fact that like you just have to eat.
Because it's the perfect timing of like right when you're like, oh my God, I'm zeroed in. I got this. Like this is it. This is it. And then it's like,
and then you will be like, this is absolute mania.
Because then you have to make something.
It's just food. It's like
but then I'm like over here like beating eggs and like cooking
no
a
one
dinner.
said you had to beat an egg.
Yeah, but I'm not just gonna like because then it's like and I'm like so me and my body have a relationship and so I'm like oh okay so what do you want?
Now
like,
you want a goat cheese omelet?
yeah exactly. Okay fine.
You want slivered asparagus on that too? It's
you know how long that's gonna take?
No one made you do that. No, I will say this is really good because I'm going to dive right into Melting Pot in the sense that Danimation asked a question that said, assuming you'd be completely healthy, would you rather never eat again or never need sleep again?
Never sleep again.
Well, you just said that you
you asked the question. I mean, it's not hard. Because I just told you I like to eat when I eat. But
that's a fair point.
Yeah, so it's like okay, fine. But if I never had to sleep, like, I'm not just tired all the time. I just don't have to sleep.
Because I think the journey is that it's would you rather never need to eat again. So like you can still eat. You can
that's what
still
I'm saying.
like go get delicious.
Yeah,
food.
I can still take a nap if I want to. If I want to, I just don't need to nap.
Oh, I think you got to do the food one because
why?
Because then you won't have the problem that you just
but I like
the
to
whole
eat.
time. You do?
I like eating when I choose.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't need to. It's like not. It's like. Yeah. Would you rather?
But I don't want to have to go to sleep sometimes.
Oh, I need. Look, I'm gonna be honest.
Every time I go to sleep, I'm afraid. So, you try and break that down. So if I could get rid of that.
Why?
I don't know. Just as a kid, I've always been afraid to go to sleep. I used to sleep facing the door just in case. I used to force myself to sleep facing the doorway just in case a bad guy came in and tried to inject a needle in my neck. I was at least facing the doorway and I could and didn't grab it out. I had this. I would plan it out, so I'd always sleep with one eye open, if you will. What? I'm very on the defense.
No, you are not. I sleep with you every night, and you are absolutely
I wake up.
There's been times where like huge, like a fire happened.
Yeah,
and
but
you
that's
literally
not
were like,
important. It wasn't in this. It wasn't in this building. But if someone's walking
you're telling me that you're gonna be like, hey,
if someone's walking in my bedroom with a needle that they want to put into my neck, I will be able to fight them.
No, there's no way. I'm sorry.
What about you?
I'm gonna be honest. I like sleep a lot. I just can't sleep. I'm like an insomniac. You know that.
Yeah.
I have and actually I watched a whole thing on TikTok, and I read a bunch of Reddit posts that were basically like, yeah, apparently.
Well, that's your problem. TikTok is what's keeping you up.
It's keeping me up. It's TikTok and me. No, but they were saying like heart patients tend to, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a circadian rhythm thing or what.
Because you're trying to live.
I get FOMO. I want to
every minute
hang out every minute of the day.
Listen, if I didn't have to sleep or eat, that could be my superpower.
You have to pick one. You can't. It's either.
I don't have to sleep or eat, but I do have to drink water. So we do have to pull over.
We have to pull over. It's been days. It's been hours.
All right, what else you got?
Okay, that's a great one. I'm just saying I would rather never have to sleep again because then I'd have so much time to do the things I want to do.
I get it.
But I could still sleep if I wanted to
dream.
I
Exactly.
love
that's
dreaming.
Yeah.
Dreaming is real fun. Yeah. Sometimes you get nightmares.
Well, I do lots of crazy dreams. Like I think every other dream is a nightmare, a vivid nightmare, where I'm protecting you, or hiding, or running. I've died in dreams. They say that's impossible, but I've done it.
Oh my God, Cheddar.
I've been trying to lucid dream, and I'll get it, and I'll I'll take over the dream, and I'm like, finally I got it, and then my brain will be like, here's the boss. Then like, oh, you're having fun, and
here's the boss. Then
yeah. So like, I'll be doing like, oh my gosh, like that was really scary when those guys were chasing me and tried to kill me. But then when I found out it was a dream, and then I take over the dream, and I'm like, I got this. Now I'm the hero. Then my mind catches on, and it's like, actually, we're going to make this even more of a nightmare.
Okay, honestly, I think we either have to go to a dream analysis person, or you're breaking the code for the simulation and you're Neo.
Yeah, I think so. I think my brain is reprogramming itself to understand that this is a simulation.
If you could change one thing about LA immediately, no questions asked, what would it be? Look, I want to say something sassy, like all the like crazy Nepo babies, like they have to actually put the time in. But I'm going to just say, like, I really wish it was just a logical amount of money is being charged for an apartment and for the cost of living. Because here it's the most insane thing ever. And I think that is kind of the crux of everything, is that, like, it's so expensive to live here. And that would be the biggest thing.
The thing for me, and this is going to sound real.
Oh, no.
This might be borderline.
Oh, no.
This might get me canceled. But that'll get us views, baby.
Ew. Ew.
So my cancel is, I was born and raised here in Southern California, in LA County. My dad was born in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't even have anywhere to move back to. Like, I can't, if I go to like Illinois or if I go to Iowa,
you're starting
then
over
I'm starting over, and then
yeah.
I'm leaving my family behind. My grandma lives here. My uncle lived here. My dad lives here. Like, all of my family lives here.
Yeah.
Yet I can't even afford to do it. I couldn't even afford to buy the house that I grew up in. Sure. That even my dad, who's a real estate broker in LA County, is like, I would never pay that much for this kind of house. Like, and I'm like, me either, bro. We agree. This sucks. But like, the house I grew up in, my parents bought it for $100,000 in 1989.
That's wild.
It's worth $700,000, and this is not in LA. Yeah. Like, people are like, $700,000, not bad. No, this is not LA really. Like, this is San Bernardino County.
Yeah,
so it's like
outskirts.
It's the Inland Empire, and they say empire, but it's not an empire.
There's no empire.
It's just inland. Yeah, but my aunt who lives in this city. She lives in a beautiful house next to Angela Bassett.
Cute.
And Dallas Raines,
so
the weatherman.
Cute.
She bought her house for $38,000 in the 70s.
That's insane.
And it's worth probably $4 million today.
It is.
That is the thing is, I do kind of feel like there's I I know it's lame and I know it's cheesy, but I wish there was like a born on this soil tax to where it's like, well, he was born in.
Hey, he gets a plot of land the second he comes out of the chute.
Yeah. Like, if you're from Oregon, you can get it wherever you're from.
You can get it
but
cheaper
it's like, that's what I mean. Just because it's like,
only.
and it's like if your parents moved here and they figured it out, and then you're born here. Okay, cool.
You're thinking like a Disneyland ticket where it's like, oh hey, are you a Southern California local?
Southern California lokes. You don't know about this. Disney's been doing this forever.
Yeah.
If you live in SoCal, you can get cheap tickets. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I just want some cheap
tickets.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the nicest ticket, like I want
to ticket.
just a you're here, I'm here.
One ticket.
Yeah. So
no, I get that. I think that's a great question. Thank you, Sunbeam. Okay.
And I had public transportation, obviously.
That was my other second one.
If we could have
look, years ago they actually had an
underground. When my dad was young, they had a full public transportation system above and below ground. Yep. There were these orange cars that were like kind of rail carts that could take you from LA to Orange County in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And the car companies bought them all
and destroyed
with
them.
the tire companies and burned them in front of everyone in LA, and basically was like, if you ever take these, like they wanted us to drive cars, so they burned them in front of us.
It's a little bit like the plot to Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly.
It's exactly like the plot to Roger Rabbit. So just an FYI, that existed.
So if anyone has a job opening in a nice moist town, preferably like Maine or Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to move to a nice moist town.
Not a hot moist, a cold moist.
I'll move to a cold moist town.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a cold moist town.
Yeah.
I won't move to a hot moist town.
No, God, no.
No, I need a cold moist town.
Cold moist.
I love a cold moist.
Love cold moist.
Sweet.
Hot moist, whip.
Ugh. Gregorio Tebera. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but I actually prefer to say it absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Said, would you live in the mountains with Delman or Frankenstein?
Wow.
No.
That's weird.
This is a
Can
really
only
good
be
question
one.
because the or in there really throws a pickle into it.
Well, yeah.
I love Frankenstein more than anything in this entire world, but I'm going to have to live in the mountains with Delman because I can't lift things.
You guys are going to make it 9 days max, and then you're going to eat Frankie.
We're going to make it 4 days, and then I'm going to have to chop wood.
Yeah.
She's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, you wouldn't even be able to eat her because you won't know how to make a fire.
I know how to make a fire. Excuse me.
You don't have match.
I won't know how to skin a dog.
No, you just eat it.
Yeah, no, you can't just eat it. You got to get the guts. You got to perforate. No, they're going to ruin all the meat with all of her perforated guts.
Thanks for choosing me over Frank.
You're welcome. It was hard and honestly not ideal. Now, if it was, would you live in the mountains with Delman and Frankie? Every day of my life, I dream about moving to a mountain cottage where no one knows me. Do you remember in Children of Men, Michael Caine and his wife, how they were like hippies and they lived off grid and also violently, like no one knew where they were and they were just helping people through a trafficking system to better their lives? When we got married, I pitched this so hard and you were so not on board. No. But I pitched, because I kept my last name and you didn't seem to have an issue with that in any way, shape, or form.
No.
And I also was like, I call you Delman all the time.
Yeah, it'd be weird, yeah.
So I think it'd be
Most
really weird. I've never called you Andrew unless I've been like trying to.
I just don't feel like an
You're
Andrew.
not an Andrew, ever. You never have been.
No.
But
only when I'm in trouble.
Ghost. It'd be weird to be like, hi, I'm Lee Delman and this is my husband Delman. Like, that's weird.
It is weird. So, it's already weird enough for me either way. So
I get it.
Like even today, they're like, Delman, that's a weird one. But you wanted me to go by Delman Newton. And I don't want to do that. I wanted you to go by
Delman Newton. I want you to take my last name.
I don't want to do that.
Delman Newton is so much cooler than anything.
I think Delman
so
Newton.
Rad.
I would definitely sing show tunes.
No,
in Vegas. I'd be like Wayne Newton's son.
Delman Newton? No,
we can go together. That's Delman Newton.
Delman Newton, I just think he's really cool. I think you missed out on something big. I think if you want to, and then a little bit, change your name to Delman Newton, I support it. Okay. That's all.
All right. Or how about Del Man?
Oh, no.
All right.
No, how about Michael Caine? All right. Let's see. We got some good ones. Ooh, what is a cartoon character you would immediately marry?
A cartoon character I would immediately marry.
Yeah, it's tough. I know mine.
Yeah, go for it. What's yours?
Oh, mine is Scrooge McDuck.
Well, obvious. He's rich.
He's loaded. But also, like, I will say this. He doesn't mind an adventure. He adventured a lot. Like, he goes out. He has a good time. I can deal with curmudgeon so easily. It's like not a problem for me at all. I tend to razz. I like it. I enjoy it. I think it's really fun to make someone who's in darkness see sunshine. Yeah. I like it. I think it's a good time. Also, he's got a lot of friends that, like, are around him and stuff. I would marry Scrooge McDuck in a heartbeat.
Sure.
Sure, there's other, like, hotter cartoons, if we're being honest.
Sure. Yeah.
Like there's other like
hotties.
There's some hottie cartoons,
Yeah, for sure.
Like they go Flynn Rider from Rapunzel, from Tangled.
Okay. Wow.
Like he's a hot guy.
Yeah, cartoons. This goes deep.
It goes really deep.
Yeah, because at first I'm thinking of like. Yeah, then I'm thinking of cartoons, but there's like movies.
Yeah, there's like King Triton's a babe. Woody has a weird. I think he's sensual in a weird way. Woody from Toy Story.
Is that considered animation? That's 3D animation.
I mean, it's a cartoon character. He's technically a cartoon character.
Is that a cartoon? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would say so.
Wow.
But I think Woody has like a weird sexual element to him. I think that's considered animation. I believe cartoon is drawn. I think you're getting into semantics and people need to know what cartoon character you're going to marry.
Whoa. Well, not animation. Okay. That's for sure.
So Bo Peep is out, everybody.
No, Bo Peep would be... Wait, who's Bo Peep?
In Toy Story.
Oh, I thought you meant Little Bo Peep, which is back to animation.
Who's Little Bo Peep?
Oh, no, she's from a book.
Yeah.
She lost her sheep.
Yeah.
That's illustration.
You got to get out.
All right, well, if we're doing cartoons. Yeah, it's hard because, it could be anyone.
Yeah.
This is not going to be good.
Look, you got all the Disney princesses. Yeah, you got like other. Okay.
Probably. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot going on. Yeah, because it's like...
You have like Care Bears. You could marry anyone.
I don't want to marry a Care Bear.
Okay,
God,
I'm sorry
that
I brought
seems
it up.
Horrible.
That does seem weird, actually, now that I said it out loud.
And then Ariel, there's a lot going on there.
She's
like,
sycophantic.
Looks-wise,
it's exhausting.
That's what I was like as a kid. But like the fish thing, weird.
Throws you off.
The no talking thing, weird.
Can't do it.
Yeah, the obsession with people walking around. Yeah.
Sure.
Like, it's just weird.
Sure, that would throw anyone
If I watched her combing her hair with a fork, I'd be kind of thrown off a little. I'd be like, I'd have to do a lot of explaining. Like, she's hot, but anyone, like, Probably Luann from King of the Hill.
Oh my God.
We'd have a good time.
Technically, that is a cartoon character.
We'd have a great time.
Mr. Delman.
Yeah.
That's what you want, Luann?
Me and her and Lucky, we would just hang out.
Oh my God. Delman is going to marry Luann from King of the Hill. And I'm going to marry Woody from Toy Story. I don't know if that's mine.
Because I don't know who else. It's like Lana's a lot.
Lana?
From Archer, she's a lot.
Oh, yeah. You're going adult cartoons.
Well, that's where my head originally went, but anything else is weird. Like, every Disney cartoon gets... Yeah, but that's, like, weird.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bestiality. And then if I'm, like, doing Pocahontas, and that's, like, this weird John Smith thing that I don't want to...
Also, she was, like, really honestly, like,
I don't want to get into any of that. I don't want to paint with the colors of the wind. I'm good.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, good to be at home.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those penguins from Mary Poppins.
Honestly, no. They had a vibe.
Yeah, they seemed cool. They seemed dope.
You guys seem like you're having a pretty good time.
Oh,
so I'm on board.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Anything else?
Delman's going to marry.
Cruella DeVille.
Oh.
Kind of hot, kind of
iconic.
She's got
a great energy to her.
Well, mine is the puppy thing. But I think I could be like Cruella.
I think if she had a loving partner... that like saw her for who she was and really made her feel heard.
Be like, dude, you look great. You got a dope car.
Honey.
You smoke your cigarettes out of the weird thing.
You're rich.
You have cool hair.
Babe.
We don't need to kill puppies right now.
Honey.
We don't need to do it.
We'll find you some coyote fur.
Come on. Let's get into something else. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Let's go to dinner. Cruella, let's go to dinner.
You had a busy day. All right.
Let's go to dinner.
Yeah.
You want me to draw you a bath?
Yeah.
Cruella?
Yeah.
Someone said Frankie has Jeremy Renner, who is Weasel dating. I don't think Weasel honestly wants to date anyone.
No.
I think Weasel's absolutely not into anything sexually, and that's perfectly all right. If he isn't, he is into orgies. That's the only. It's either he is absolutely completely not into people in any way in that way.
I think he has a group that he hangs out with, like him and Tilda Swinton just laugh about nothing. Oh
my god, of course he's with Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, they're just hanging out there, but like it's not sexual.
But like it is in a weird mental way. You know, they like
we challenge
are together. They challenge each other. We really like to challenge each other.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I don't know what that means, but sure.
Yeah.
And then he'll tell us like the most boring small story about Tilda
forever.
So long. Yeah.
And it's like even though they're rich, like he still has bad teeth.
Okay.
Right.
Ooh. What do you look forward to in becoming an elderly person?
I don't know. I guess for me, it's like at a certain point in life, like I think you start to be like, all right, you know, you either I did it or like I'm not going to do it. But like there's some closure. Like
sure. Oh,
like,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I did become everything I wanted to do. Or, you know, maybe I'm not going to be a dancer and maybe I'm not going to be the president of the United States.
Yeah, you said that the other day. Delman literally, hold on. Because Delman literally the other day in the kitchen was like, hey, I'm finally old enough to be the president. Yeah. And I was like, is that something you want to start?
Well,
trying to do?
I was just keeping, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, at least I'm not old enough. But when that comes around, I'm going to need to think about that.
You should have been starting so long ago, my guy.
Come on. The youngest president, I still have years until I'm Kennedy's age.
Do you want to be the president?
I don't know, but the option is there. And like, I could live my entire life plus 10 years and then be Biden's age.
Okay, and that's fair.
So I have time. All right?
One thing we do
Everything I've done in my entire life, I have a whole other life to live and 5 to 10 years. And then I can be president.
This podcast is going to be under a thin microscope.
What are they going to do?
I don't know.
I didn't say anything bad about Biden. I just said I'm coming, dog. In 30 to 40 years, I'm coming for your job. My platform is going to be great.
Look, I'm excited about ripping
I'm going to have AI write my speech.
No.
And my running mate's going to be the first robot ever.
Okay.
That was built in the United States.
No, this is how it happened.
Have you seen Bicentennial Man?
Yes.
That was bad, right?
Yes.
It's going to be like that.
Okay. Okay. As an elderly person, I actually am excited about it because I do think aging is a privilege. I do think there was such a long time where I, as a like sick kid, had like a weird little like
you're gonna die by your 30s.
I really thought I was. I honestly like I didn't see longevity in my future. I didn't see that at all, just because I was so like very aware of the kiss of death. And so I really honestly thought I was not gonna make it past 30 because I'd been told that by so many doctors and stuff. And so like it was always like, oh, well, if it happens, it's a miracle. And you're like, that's a hard blow for an 11-year-old to take in. Yeah. But I just remember thinking like, oh, I'm just not going to make it past 30. Yeah. And so it's always a weird thing to be like, oh, this is such a like, what a gift aging is. Like, I think it's weird. Women get really weird with like aging and with looking older and all those different things. And they put all this shit in their face, which is, you know, you do you. But I just think it's such a weird thing. I think ageism is very real. And I think it's such a weird privilege because death is truly imminent for all of us.
You need to respect your elders.
Yeah. I mean, so with that being said, I'm definitely looking forward to ripping toots freely and not caring.
That's nice.
And also there is something about like, as a woman, like this sounds ridiculous, I know, but as a woman, like removing myself from like the like sexual element of self, because I think that's it's such a moniker. It's so attached to you. It has been attached to me for a long time. I mean, I did stuff in the past where it was like Maxim Hot 100 and stuff like that.
People still bring that up.
Yeah, they do. And also, I will be honest, at the time, it was really incredibly uncomfortable for me. Yeah. It was something that was pushed on me by producers and by like my boss at the time that was like, hey, we think you should be like put up for this. And I was like, why? And they just wanted attention and like, I guess like they probably just wanted like views and attention on the site. And it was a very weird thing because I felt like I had worked so hard to like set myself apart from like any attractiveness that was a part of me. I was like
internet,
but hottie. Also I'm funny too, kind of a thing. You got like
voted in by
and it was really cool. That was one of the coolest elements of that, was to be like, voted by a community that honestly cared about me and rallied behind me. And that was really cool because they like crashed the website. It was like a whole thing. And I remember feeling very like loved. I had to like kind of reframe it as like a, hey, this isn't about sexuality and feeling weird in your body. It's about like people loving you and wanting you to be a part of something bigger. And I thought that was really amazing about that. But even as it stood, it was such a weird and funny thing because they kept being like, what sexy pictures does she have? And I was like, I don't have any sexy pictures.
I have this one of me dressed like Ben Franklin. And this one of me like a baby.
Like I literally was like, I'm in a dinosaur onesie and this one. But I just didn't, it wasn't like my type
But I think that's what people like about you is that you're pretty and you're funny and you're goofy. And
that's very, totally sweet.
Because I think one of my biggest turn offs is people that take themselves so seriously based on how they look or how they're perceived.
Totally.
Because it's like, I get it. We all have those, but you get to choose how you let that affect you. And some people, it affects them, then they can't be who they really need to be.
Again, that was something that was really cool in my life. It was really awesome, but there is always this weird little like, you know, I mean, I think it happens less with men, but of this thing of like being sexually attractive as a female, and when that like tends to like leave you and then I mean people usually switch it over to like, oh, they become a mom or they become a this, and I think that's really shitty. But for me, I think there will be some sort of like relief of like still maintaining asexuality but not having to like deal with like being attractive in your I don't know how to say it, but I think people will understand what I mean. But like not having that
style and having grace.
Having style, having grace,
but
having
not
like
needing
being like
to be a sexy
you can
baby.
still but like being still sexually attractive even in your older age, but not feeling that like weird pull of youth. That's what it is. It's like that weird like you have to maintain youth and stay young. It's like
changing, I think.
Yeah, but it's also just that like any attractiveness that I've had can stay with me till the end of times. Can stay with me till that, but there will be some sort of reprieve of like, hey, I'm older now. I don't need to keep pushing for the train of youth. If that makes any sense. Nice. I hope it does. Oh, okay. Hey, this is wow.
Okay.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Okay.
Crystal, I like to thank you in advance for asking the very important questions. Pickles on pizza?
Whoa. I don't know. No. I was actually thinking about this the other day.
Okay.
Hamburger pizza.
Yeah, I think we should give it a go. I've been saying this forever. I got turned down multiple times. Delman and I tried so many different pizza toppings. It got inappropriate in this house.
Oh, yeah.
And you're thinking hamburger now?
I'm thinking we take sourdough pizza dough that I make.
Love it.
Ground beef, like what you would make like a pizza dough with.
Yeah.
You can use them as sausage or whatever.
Gross.
Why is that gross?
I love it already.
Yeah. Then we're gonna put like some American cheese on there.
Oh
like
wait, I might be out on this.
No. Why are you out on this? Thousand Island, maybe.
Oh no, I am out on it.
Pickles, onions.
No, I'm out.
What are you mad about?
It's
or how? It's a hamburger. Like literally make a hamburger on a pizza.
I don't know. Here's why it feels weird. It feels like it's gonna be like.
It's gonna be good.
Chunky.
It's gonna be dang.
It's gonna be chunky.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's gonna be dang. How would you make a hamburger pizza?
I mean, I probably would just do pickles on pizza. We got like pickles
and mozzarella. That's not a hamburger pizza at all.
No.
Listen, a hamburger pizza sounds dope. You don't put it all at once. You bake the pizza dough, then you put the stuff on there like a hamburger.
Like, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm
some
down.
lettuce.
It's feeling gooey. It's feeling like it's
gonna
be
have
messy.
some. You can't have any.
That makes perfect sense to me. Someone said, "What's your favorite fabric?" And honestly, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I've never thought about it in my life. I've never thought about what my favorite fabric is. Delman has an answer. Thank you so much for watching
also like
and
silk,
listening.
Breathable linen.
Okay, wow. I hate that you have so many. I love a breathable linen. Oh, I love a breathable linen.
I love a breathable linen.
Who doesn't love a breathable linen?
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
You know who loves a breathable linen?
Who?
Guy Fieri.
No, that guy.
No,
that's
are you kidding?
Nylon.
No.
that is like old polyester.
No, I have followed Guy Fieri's fashion really intensely.
That fire shirt, that's a like Hot Topic Spencer's Gift original. That is made out of yeah.
Here's where you're wrong. Yeah. Absolutely. I followed his fashion pretty deeply. I have a Pinterest board of Guy Fieri's fashion.
He must use a lot of starch.
No, he loves Hawaiian shirts. He loves breathables.
Aloha shirts.
He loves a breathable linen. This is how I know we'd be friends. If any of you have a contact for Guy Fieri or like are really close friends with him and want to invite me over for a barbecue, let us know in the comments, and also let us know who you think you would be friends with as a stranger that you do not know. I need to know what stranger celebrity. Yeah, what stranger celebrity are you positive you would be friends with if ever given the chance?
For me, I think it would be, oh man, it would have to be something weird. I think me and like,
I think you and Post Malone would get along so well.
Oh yeah, but that's, I mean, he already hangs out with a good friend of mine.
Yeah, it's an obvious
Joe, and he and Post would get along with anyone.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it would have to be someone weird that everyone's like, oh, he doesn't like anyone. I think Michael Jordan and I would be good friends. I think we could hang out. I could get him to laugh. Yeah. We could play golf together. Yeah. We could talk about being billionaires and like talking and laughing. And he was the best and I was the best in our respective fields. And we would be good old friends.
Mike.
We talk about cheer wine in North Carolina. He's from there.
Yeah, no, and
I did some research on
him. Googled him.
Yeah, so I think me and Mike.
I love that. So he's a gambler. Are you ready?
I love a good gamble.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah. We love you more than anything.
What's up, Mike? If you're watching this,
Jesus,
hit me up, cheese@favoritecheese.com. Actually, I got a real email that I'll give you too. If you gotta email that, and then I'll give you my real email.
Hey, if anyone wants to email Delman as Michael Jordan, feel free.
Mike, what's up?
Okay, I love you.
I love you, Mike.
Stay cozy.